Hi, this is Veronica Brosher, licensed mental health counseling associate, and it is mid-April and I am still in a sweater and a scarf. Not too happy about that, but spring will be coming, right? Today I would like to talk about insomnia. That is something that I know a lot of people struggle with, and I have kind of developed a routine to work with that, and so I'd kind of like to walk through the steps today and talk about the things that we would be working with if you came in and wanted help with your insomnia. So the first thing is we would just talk about the neurotransmitters in your brain and what's going on in your brain that helps you to fall asleep. And melatonin's kind of become a buzzword with sleep problems, and melatonin does go up when you fall asleep. But I haven't found that melatonin is necessarily helpful for people with insomnia. And I think what we need to do is back up from that a little bit and work with the precursors to what's happening that's making the melatonin go up. And melatonin is rising in response to a drop in body temperature and lack of light. So if you want your melatonin to go up, make sure your room is very dark, and make sure that the temperature in the room is a little bit cool. So whether that means you turn the heat down a little bit if it's summer, if you have a fan on, or turn the air up, or don't use as many blankets. But those things tell your body to make melatonin and that it's time to fall asleep. So those are great ways to get away from needing some extra medication to help you fall asleep. The next thing we would talk about is a sleep diary, and you may have tried a sleep diary and not been super successful with it. And what I find with that is that a lot of people are misusing the sleep diary. They're using the sleep diary to reinforce their negative thoughts that they're not going to fall asleep. So they look at the diary and go, yep, it took me 2 hours to fall asleep. Yep, I woke up 5 times last night. And use the sleep diary to heighten and promote the things that you're doing well. I don't remember when I fall asleep, but it must have been before midnight. I'm falling asleep sooner, and really rehearsing those things that you're doing really well. So keeping track of it for the purpose of noticing I'm getting more sleep than I actually thought, and really rehearsing those. And that brings us to the idea of our sleep thoughts, whether they're positive sleep thoughts or negative sleep thoughts. And if we rehearse in our mind, I'll never fall asleep, I'll never fall asleep, then the bed becomes a source of anxiety and frustration for us. And we need to kind of decondition that. I don't want to see my bed and immediately feel tense and have this physiological reaction of frustration already, even before I've started to fall asleep. So I do that by rehearsing positive sleep thoughts. I always fall asleep eventually. I'm getting enough sleep. Saying those positive things. So, there's extremes in every case, right? So the extremes of rehearsing my negative sleep history, but the other extreme is saying these positive affirmations that don't feel at all real or legitimate, right? So, but I can find something positive to say that feels true. So maybe not saying, I sleep great, 8 hours a night, but start with noticing my small gains. I'm sleeping more than I used to. I always fall asleep eventually. So saying something that feels a little more true is usually helpful with that. So we would work on your sleep thoughts and what you're telling yourself about sleep. Another thing that we would do is work on what we call sleep hygiene, and that's your routine for going to bed and what you actually do when you wake up in the middle of the night or can't fall asleep. And just like I said with the sleep thoughts, the goal is to not let the bed be a source of frustration, and not let my sleep hygiene become this rigid thing that I have to follow religiously, but let it be something to help me and to guide me. And I found that over time, these things, as we tailor them to things that are pertinent to you, what are the things that you find relaxing? What are the things that work best for you? That it helps, and people can recover from insomnia. So if you would like to have a consultation and we can talk about what that would look like for you, I would love to meet with you and help you have a better night's sleep. And I hope that these thoughts were a good tickler for you in your mind of things that you can try to help you sleep better.